nominate Honorable Tajuddin Abbas.
I so second.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination.
Is hereby declared the winner and returned elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
This is House Ticket, and you are welcome. Resumption of the House has been shifted to the 30th of January 2024, and as such, we shall continue with our review of past activities in the 10th House. On this week's package, we shall review actions of the 10th House on security by looking at motions of lawmakers on these important issues in the society. We also had an exclusive interview with Representative Frederick Agbedi on a motion he moved and a range of other issues. Let's begin the program fully after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
Hi, about that The House will pay priority attention to participatory budgeting process and delivery, law reform, electoral reform, women's participation and inclusion in governance, among others.
Hello again, and thanks for staying tuned. The 10th House of Representatives, since inception in June 2023, considered the rising challenges of insecurity and the security sector as a whole, calling on the executive to mitigate the problems while proffering solutions. This mostly came up in motions moved by lawmakers. In our first segment, let us review some of those motions as moved by lawmakers in the Green Chamber. The report is compiled and presented from our studio.
The security of every nation is the backbone of development. The 10th House of Representatives, under the stewardship of Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, saw the pragmatic need to improve the nation's security by moving motions in that regard. One of which was moved by Representative Ahmed Usman Jaha on the urgent need to stop the killing of peasant farmers in Borno State and provide a safe platform for such farmers to safely harvest their farm produce.
The persistent insecurity in Chibok-Dambuwa-Goza constituency has created an environment of fear and uncertainty, discouraging farmers from cultivating their lands and leaving their hard-earned farm produce unharvested. This not only leads to financial losses for the farmers, but also exacerbates the food insecurity situation in our constituency and the country at large.
He called on the House to urge the federal government as well as the Borno State government to ensure security coordination and intelligence gathering in the region to ensure the security of farmers. Stressed the need for more investment in efforts and finance by government to ensure these safety measures, which should lead to improved productivity, are met. Representative Jaha also called for the collaboration of the traditional leaders and indigenous communities to ensure the success of the harvest season in order to defeat the aim of Boko Haram, who are the perpetrators of these acts of terrorism on farmers. Lawmakers supported the motion while proposing amendments to the prayers.
The motion on the need to stop the killing of peasant farmers should also be extended completely to cover the federal constituency of Askira-Uba-Hawul federal constituency.
The issue should not just be in a constituency but nationwide. Secondly, that agro rangers under the civil defense should be activated to protect farmers, because already it's part of their work, as they should be activated to protect farmers during their harvest nationwide.
Calling the whole governors forums to organize ourselves and fight this insecurity so that the whole farmers of the state can be able to farm and harvest their farming group.
Let us rise for 1 minute silence. As anchored in the prayer.
A minute silence was observed for those killed, after which the motion was voted on as amended, approved and referred to the relevant committees of the House to ensure compliance.
Rest in perfect peace. I rise to move this.
Still on motions, Representative Kabiru Amadou Palace on 17th October 2023 moved a motion on the need to call on security operatives to immediately secure the release of the remaining 30 female students of the Federal University Gusau Zamfara State who are still in the hands of their captors.
Today is exactly 3 weeks and 2 days that these innocent girls are still in captivity with no good food, no good potable drinking water, and no shelter on their heads. Mr. Speaker, also worried that prevalent activities of armed bandits and insurgents, particularly in the abduction of the female student, has been responsible for tremendous reduction in school enrollment of pupils in Zamfara State and entire Northwest.
His prayer was a call on the Chief of Defense Staff and the Inspector General of Police to immediately ensure the release of the girls from the bandits and that the relevant committees of the House should ensure compliance.
I've been a victim of...
Some lawmakers contributed to the motion.
This issue of kidnapping in our academic institutions is a deliberate attempt by those criminals and their supporters to make education very, very, very inaccessible in majorly the northern part of this country. This particular incident happened in Chibok some years back till today. Some of these students are yet to be released. Mr. Speaker, sir, it has been done in Kebbi. And this is not the first time in Federal University in Gusau. It is done in Gusau. It is done in Niger. It is done in Katsina. Mr. Speaker, the most vulnerables are the female that are being abducted.
I've been a victim of kidnapping before, and I know the consequence when you are in the hands of these people. It is not a good thing. Not to talk of little kids and girls, for that matter. If you are a father and you have a child, in the hands of kidnappers, it's going to be a very serious, nightmare. It's like dying every day.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
The motion was referred to the House Committee on Legislative Compliance, Defense, Army, Air Force, as well as that on Police. On Tuesday, 24th October 2023, Representative Blessing Onu moved a motion on the need to investigate the recent armed robbery attacks and killings of innocent Nigerians in a community in her constituency of Otupo Ohimini in Benue State.
Residents are currently feeling traumatized by last Friday's incident and are greatly feeling unsafe, worried that the security architecture of Otupo community, particularly the police and vigilante, are badly demoralized. More worrisome, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, is that the commercial and business activities are currently halted in Otupo and Benue South as a whole. Banks and other commercial institutions have completely shut down operations.
The lawmaker called on the House to condemn the criminal acts while further calling on the relevant security apparatus to apprehend the perpetrators of the devious act. Representative Onu also called on the federal government to provide additional security apparatus to the community, urging the House to ensure compliance to the prayers of the motion so that such barbaric acts do not reoccur.
This community...
Several lawmakers contributed to the motion.
That security activity in the country has become a cash cow business. A cash cow business is the sense that some people are living fat, feeding fat, as far as the security is concerned. There is a need for these members of the parliament, particularly security-related committee, to look into the way and manner expenditures are made in security-related agencies and ministries. There is a need for us to do our oversight function properly so that we understand that taxpayers' money is being used for the purpose intended.
Our security, the local vigilante, our security the Nigerian police force should be empowered, and more so intelligent network as far as communication is concerned, so that as the first attack happened, they can easily communicate to reinforce. Because it has happened this year in my very local government, Ankpa local government. It has happened last year in Omala local government. And most of those banks up to today cannot come back to function because of the heavy attacks.
And the manner in which this unknown government left this community called Otukpo. If you watch the video, Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, you will agree with me that if we fail to say that the security apparatus of this country has not failed, then we are not doing justice to what has happened.
A minute's silence was observed to honor the deceased, after which the motion was voted on, adopted and referred to the House Committee on National Security, Police, as well as that on Army.
These killings have almost become a daily occurrence.
Representative Awaji Inombek Dagomi Abiante, on Wednesday, 1st November 2023, also moved a motion on the need to curb the dangerous trend in the killing of young girls for ritual purposes.
The recent murder of a 20-year-old girl, Ms. Justina Otuene, an undergraduate student of the Department of Biochemistry, University of Port Harcourt, by one Damian Okoligwe, who is also an undergraduate student of the same university, just last week. The murder of Augusta Osedion, a final year student of Leeds University, in July 2023 by her boyfriend, Benjamin Best, who goes by the nickname Killer Boy. This happened in Lagos. The murder of Ms. Ogeni Fejiro Ochuko, a final year student of Ambrose Ali University, who was equally killed in August 2023 by her boyfriend, Victor Ochonugo, in Benin, and several other unreported cases. This House should be worried that these killings have almost become a daily occurrence, with several other reported cases of missing females with their whereabouts still unknown.
The lawmaker urged the House to call on the Inspector General of Police to set up a crack team to tackle the menace, and that the House Committee on Legislative Compliance should ensure compliance.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
The motion was referred to the House Committee on Police Affairs as well as that on Legislative Compliance.
A minute's silence in honor of the deceased. Please shall we rise. Rest in peace.
Other motions on security moved by lawmakers include a call for investigation and prosecution of the officers involved in the shooting and killing of Ivan Onoshe Imorina, a toddler killed by an NDLEA officer, moved by Representative Idem Onyime. The need to curb the excessive use of force by some Nigerian police officers as well as the Lagos State Management Agency LASMA officials that led to the death of a pregnant lady and 2 children, moved by Representative Jesse Oke. Need to address the unfortunate death of Ms. Greatness Olorunfemi by One Chance Syndicate in Abuja, moved by Representative Mudashiru Lukman. Call on the Inspector General of Police to intensify efforts to secure the immediate and safe release of the 7 abducted corps members in Zamfara State, moved by Representative Idem Onyime. Demand for justice on the murder of Ms. Chalia Grace Silas, moved by Representative Benny La. Need for urgent military intervention and rescue of farmers from Boko Haram terrorists in Jere community of Borno State, moved by Representative Satomi Ahmed. A call on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Diaspora Agency to investigate circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Chibuike Emmanuel, a Nigerian medical student in the Philippines, moved by Representative Mudashiru Lukman. And the urgent need to address the recent attack on the executive governor of Yobe State, moved by Representative Khadija Waziri Bukar.
You are watching House Ticket, coming to you on the parliamentary channel of the NTA. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin has affirmed that he continues to enjoy the support of political leaders in his home state of Kaduna, including the Governor Senator Obasani and his predecessor, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai. The Speaker made this known when he received Governor Obasani at his office in Abuja on Wednesday, 17 January 2024. The governor led a high-powered delegation from Kaduna State on a courtesy visit to the Speaker. He was accompanied by Malam Balara Balawan, the senior councillor in his cabinet, Malam Yusuf Hamisu Abubakar, and other top aides. Speaking earlier, Governor Ubasani said that the visit was on behalf of the good people of Kaduna State. He also informed the gathering, including several principal officers and members of the House, that the people of Kaduna State were proud of Speaker Abbas and his leadership style. Governor Sani also expressed his amazement over how members of the ruling and majority All Progressive Congress APC and those in the opposition parties have been united under Speaker Abbas' leadership. House Ticket continues right after this break. Join us again. You are still watching House Ticket. The year 2023 just ended, and as I mentioned at the beginning, we had an exclusive interview with Representative Agbedi Frederick. Keep watching as we bring details in our next report.
Lawmaker Agbedi Frederick is a serving member of the House of Representatives. He represents the good people of Sagbama, Ikeremo Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State, on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Representative Agbedi, alongside some lawmakers, moved a motion titled "Need to Halt the Central Bank of Nigeria's Directive on the Addition of Social Media Handle on Know Your Customer Requirement." Speaking in an interview, Representative Frederick Agbedi told House Ticket what informed their decision to move the motion.
Social media publications cannot be 100% correct. You can't truly rely on all you see, you read, you hear from the social media. Other than that, we also know that this young man who wants to get rich, syndrome that is ravaging the nation, is such that one of the platforms they use is that medium to be able to reach at people's secrets, people's private documents and all that, and assess people's own savings and other essential documents, and then upstage them and defraud them of so many things. And so when Central Bank, a government organization to that extent, is now putting social media as part of one of the avenues of reaching out to our customers, smells, a lot of danger.
Representative Frederick speaks further on the motion.
Of course, you know how hackers and all kinds of fraudsters are ravaging the world, not just Nigeria, but across the globe. And so the globe all over is looking for more secure ways of dealing with, their customers, their nations, their documents, their valuables, better way of protecting them. And that is why we felt that, no, this shouldn't be, this can't be, and Central Bank, as a government organization, should not endanger our representatives. As our constituents, as representatives of our constituencies, it is our duty to work together to ensure that we bring succor, we protect them, we defend them, and give them a lease of life that will give them a better comfort, a better way of living, and secure their valuables.
With regards to the motion we are focusing on, Representative Agbedi Frederick made a call to his constituents as well as Nigerians as a whole.
My call to Nigerians as well as my constituents is to ensure that any avenue they consider not safe, including the social media, please disregard such directive. There are so many ways of relating with our financial institutions, either physically or through email and all that. But for you to go to the extent of using social media, where most of the issues that are canvassed are not verifiable, our constituents shouldn't, and for no reason should they subject themselves to such a directive.
Away from the motion, Representative Frederick spoke on a significant lesson that Nigerians must take home from the 10th House of Representatives.
In unison, we as members of the 10th House of Reps elected one leadership. The presiding officers were unanimously elected. Yes, we know that maybe some 4, 6 people fell off the line, but that was a way of expressing their ambition, and there's nothing wrong about that. And so, very importantly, Nigerians should know that for once, the House of Reps in their totality decided that Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin and Right Honorable Kalu should be our presiding officers as Speaker and Deputy Speaker. And I think that unity is going to continue, and to that extent, every member, has a place in the 10th Assembly, which means that there's going to be peace, and then collectively we shall ensure that Nigerians are better for it in this 10th Assembly.
The lawmaker told us what his constituents should expect from him in the new dispensation.
Very importantly, my constituents know that in every financial year, I embark at least not less than 3 education projects, because education is a foundation, is a bedrock to success. And as a teacher for that matter, I believe that should be my priority. Other than that, yes, we're going to bring in laws that will bring succor to our people, and then particularly for us from that part of the country, the South, we believe in devolution of power. We believe in true federalism, and it's going to form the front burner of our bills that we are going to present to the National Assembly, particularly even through the constitutional amendment, so that we ensure that we are all contributing from our flanks to the federal government, rather than coming to Abuja to sit over allocations that we share and then don't at the end of the day see how much it can help our people.
On a final note, Representative Agbedi Frederick speaks on the Electoral Act and also made a call to Nigerians.
The Electoral Act is again going to be at the front burner. The few glitches, the few issues in the 2022 Electoral Act will be amended to ensure that we upgrade our election status and have a better election come 2027. So I will always urge all of us to be steadfast. A new government has just begun. We also know that there are challenges, there are tough times, but no good thing comes without tough times. So let's not be defeated, let's not have a sense of downcast because there are tough times. I know that it's only the tough that will keep going, but however, as Nigerians, as a people, and as people elected into government, we will do all within our possible best to ensure that life makes meaning, makes sense to our constituents, and so shall we do. And we urge them to continue to, be hopeful that things are going to change for the better.
As we sign off here, we urge you to follow the program on our social media platforms on display. And don't forget to send in your feedback through questions, comments, and observations on the workings of the legislature. You can also share with us videos of any project or program in your community or any constituency outreach program facilitated by your representative in the House. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.